You can say what you want to say, but college football is off the chain. Those three championship games were, I got takes on all of them. I got a buddy of mine's a big Clemson fan and always talking trash and what have you. And Clemson was that team uh, after Alabama when Nick Saban was rolling up the runs. They were that team. Then they fell off. You had Deshaun Watson and you had Trevor Lawrence. But they were very poised yesterday. That was a heck of a win. I don't want to say comeback. I was going to say comeback, but SMU had to tie it up. But to get that kickoff return, get that pass set up for that field goal, and thinking about it, Clemson was kind of spotty in a couple of games. Actually was coming back when you consider how they lost their last game. So that was a huge win. But let me tell you something. SMU is not a joke. I mean, some people are trying to downplay SMU, but SMU battled them. They gave them everything they had. I'm gonna tell you something. SMU deserves, a legit bowl. Don't give them the spinach bowl or the Popeyes bowl. Give them a real bowl, cause they're a legit team. They may be in that high second tier range, but they deserve legitimacy. I mean, that was a tough game. That really was a battle. They came back. They fought. That was a good game. Clemson doesn't make a couple mistakes during the season. They might be a legit top tier because they're kind of one of those teams that they fell off, but they still, that they still a battle tested team. So that was an impressive game with that. Oregon, Penn State. I always tell everybody this story about Penn State. They lose 2 games every year. And one of them is going to be the Ohio State. But this one against Oregon, they just was kind of like, it's like a boxer knows they can beat you, but yet the fight is going the distance. They fought hard and they were in it, to stay around. But Oregon was just the better team. Oregon had enough. Oregon has played great. And unless Oregon drops the ball in the postseason, they should win the chip because they've been the most consistent team. They do enough to win. They have enough to minimize what you do. And they just really are getting it. They're getting it on both sides of the ball enough. They make enough plays. That's the difference between them and everybody I've seen so far. Can you make the plays to save the day? So, but that was a great game. And again, Penn State's always good for that 10-2. It never fails. They like clockwork. They just lose those 2 games, and they always lose that one to Ohio State in another game. So that's they knock. Really good, but not quite that team. And that's where I get into the next game. Georgia beat Texas. Texas and Penn State are kind of like the same team, except at least Penn State beats a legit team or be in it. Texas got manhandled. I know it went to overtime, but you see why Georgia was the most dominant team post Bama, except they couldn't hardly ever beat Bama, and post Clemson. But Georgia, make no mistake about it, is a legit top tier team. They should be competing for something higher. Very impressive with the way they won that game, came back, won that game in overtime. Texas doesn't really ever beat nobody. They what we call a low end first, high second, and they get ranked, and they have some good prospects which people Google Gaga over. But when they go against legit teams, they tend to get beat down, and this is another example of it. It's going to be interesting what the rankings will do, because Georgia made a strong case for a move up. Clemson might get a little bit more of a move up. We'll see what the pollsters decide to do. But Penn State shouldn't drop too far, but they will take a bit of a hit, and it depends on the games were close. This was a very, very intriguing college weekend, especially those 3 games. Those 3 games really got my attention because they have implications. Of course, Oregon is straight, but then when you look at Penn State, Texas, SMU, who's going to take the worst tumble, And we know it's a popularity contest, so we'll see what they do. But anyway, that's my thoughts and takes about this college football weekend, the games that caught my attention, and what it could mean from playing for a legit bowl, playing for a second tier bowl, or playing for the around the way bowl. But somebody's gonna get a bowl. It's like Oprah. Everybody gets a bowl, but where do you really fit? But those are good. And college football is worth watching. In case you don't know, it's worth watching. It really has intrigue. It's really intriguing. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay real. I'm out one time. Peace.